The school courtyard at Westbrook High in Ohio fell silent the moment the freezing stream of water exploded across the new girl's back. Her books crashed onto the wet concrete, pages scattered into puddles, and laughter echoed from every direction. Students reached for their phones, expecting another humiliating viral moment. The bully standing behind the hose smiled with complete confidence, believing she had just embarrassed another helpless transfer student. What she never imagined was that the quiet teenager standing soaked in the middle of the courtyard had spent more than 10 years mastering Taekwondo and had earned a black belt through discipline, sacrifice, and unwavering determination. Yet what happened next would surprise everyone, not because of a fight, but because of a choice that would change an entire school forever. Before we continue, if you believe kindness is stronger than cruelty and everyone deserves a second chance, please like this video, leave a comment telling us where you're watching from, share this story with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another inspiring story. Sophia Carter had only arrived in the United States 3 weeks earlier after her mother accepted a nursing position in Columbus, Ohio. Leaving behind lifelong friends, familiar streets, and years of memories had been harder than she admitted. Her father had passed away several years before, and ever since then she had promised herself that no matter how painful life became, she would continue living according to the values he had taught her. He had been the one who first introduced her to Taekwondo when she was only 6 years old. He always reminded her that martial arts were never about proving strength over others. They were about learning to control fear, respect people, and protect those who could not protect themselves. Those lessons stayed with her through every difficult season of life, eventually helping her earn a black belt after years of relentless training. At Westbrook High, however, nobody knew her story. To everyone else, Sophia was simply the quiet new girl who sat near the back of every classroom, spoke politely, and kept her attention on her studies. She avoided unnecessary attention because she understood how difficult it already was to fit into a completely new environment. She smiled whenever someone greeted her, thanked every teacher, and spent most lunches reading beneath a large oak tree near the football field. While many students admired her calm personality, others saw her silence as weakness. Among those students was Madison Brooks, the most feared senior in school. Madison came from a wealthy family, wore expensive clothes, and had built her reputation by humiliating classmates who looked different or refused to follow her group. Most students laughed at her jokes not because they found them funny, but because they feared becoming her next target. Teachers often heard rumors about her behavior, yet she always managed to escape serious consequences. The first week Sophia arrived, Madison began making small comments whenever they crossed paths. She mocked Sophia's old backpack, laughed at her simple lunch, and whispered insults whenever teachers weren't listening. Sophia ignored every remark. She believed silence often defeated insults better than anger ever could. Unfortunately, Madison interpreted that silence as surrender. Over the following days the bullying became worse. Sophia discovered glue covering her locker handle. Someone threw away her science project before class. Anonymous notes appeared inside her backpack telling her to go back where she came from. Every evening Sophia returned home pretending everything was fine because she did not want her exhausted mother worrying after long hospital shifts. Instead, she quietly trained in the garage every night, repeating the same Taekwondo forms her father had taught her years earlier. Each movement reminded her that true strength began with patience. Several students noticed what was happening but stayed silent. One of them was Ethan Walker, a junior who admired Sophia's kindness but lacked the courage to stand against Madison's group. Every time he watched another cruel prank, guilt settled deeper inside his heart. Everything reached a breaking point on an unusually cold Friday morning. The entire student body gathered outside before classes because workers were repairing the school gym entrance. Madison had prepared one final humiliation. She connected a long garden hose to an outdoor faucet, hiding it behind several bushes while her friends waited with their phones recording. As Sophia walked through the courtyard carrying books for history class, Madison turned the valve completely open. An icy blast of water slammed into Sophia with incredible force. Within seconds, she was completely drenched. Her books scattered across the pavement, while students gasped before nervous laughter spread through the crowd. Madison expected tears, panic, or or desperate embarrassment. Instead, Sophia slowly picked up her books, closed her eyes for one brief moment, and took a deep breath. Madison stepped closer, intending to push her again. Instead of reacting with anger, Sophia calmly positioned herself with balanced confidence. Every movement reflected years of disciplined training. Without striking anyone, she effortlessly redirected Madison's aggressive shove, causing the bully to lose balance and stumble harmlessly into the wet grass. The entire courtyard froze. No punches were thrown. No kicks landed. No one was injured. Yet everyone instantly understood that the quiet new girl possessed remarkable skill and unbelievable self-control. Madison stood up furious, charging again without thinking. Once more, Sophia used simple defensive techniques, avoiding every attack while never attempting to hurt her opponent. Security staff rushed across the courtyard before the situation could continue. Dozens of students stared in complete disbelief. The videos spreading across social media no longer showed a helpless victim. They showed someone with the power to fight who deliberately refused to use violence. The principal reviewed security footage throughout the afternoon. Every prank from previous weeks suddenly surfaced as students finally found the courage to speak. Ethan admitted everything he had witnessed. Other classmates confessed they had stayed silent because they feared Madison. The truth became impossible to ignore. Madison received serious disciplinary consequences, including suspension and mandatory counseling. At first, she blamed everyone except herself. She insisted Sophia had embarrassed her on purpose. But sitting alone during suspension gave her something she had avoided for years: time to think. Without friends cheering her behavior, she realized nobody genuinely respected her. They simply feared her. Meanwhile, Sophia unexpectedly became known throughout school. Many students wanted to hear about her martial arts background, expecting stories about championships and victories. Instead, she spoke about discipline, respect, and protecting people. She explained that earning a black belt meant learning when not to fight. Her words surprised everyone because they completely contradicted the action movies many students had grown up watching. Coach Michael Harris, who supervised several after-school programs, invited Sophia to help create a self-confidence club focused on anti-bullying awareness and personal discipline. Instead of teaching students how to fight, the program emphasized confidence, emotional control, conflict resolution, and basic self-defense only when absolutely necessary. Participation grew every week. Students who had once hidden during lunch began attending together, slowly rebuilding confidence that bullying had stolen from them. Months later, Madison returned to school carrying a completely different expression. Her confidence had disappeared, replaced by uncertainty. Most classmates ignored her, remembering everything she had done. For the first time in years, Madison experienced loneliness from the other side. One afternoon, she walked past the library and noticed Sophia helping younger students organize donated books. Their eyes met briefly. Madison expected anger or revenge. Instead, Sophia smiled gently and continued working. That simple moment affected Madison more deeply than any punishment ever had. A few days later, Madison quietly volunteered at the same book drive. At first, nobody trusted her intentions, but week after week, she continued showing up without asking for recognition. She apologized privately to several students she had bullied over the years. Some accepted her apology immediately. Others needed time. She understood she had earned neither instant forgiveness nor immediate trust. As graduation approached, Westbrook High looked different than it had only a year earlier. The school launched annual kindness campaigns inspired by the Self-Confidence Club. Students who once watched bullying in silence now stepped forward to support classmates instead. Teachers noticed fewer disciplinary problems and stronger friendships across different groups. During the end-of-year assembly, Principal Rebecca Morgan spoke about courage. She explained that courage did not always appear through loud speeches or dramatic victories. Sometimes courage appeared through quiet restraint, through choosing compassion when revenge seemed easier, and through believing people could still change after making serious mistakes. Sophia listened from the audience with tears quietly filling her eyes. She wished her father could have seen everything that had happened. She remembered his words after every difficult training session, reminding her that the strongest person in any room was the one who could walk away without hatred. Looking around at hundreds of smiling students, she realized his lessons had reached far beyond herself. They had transformed an entire community. Madison also sat quietly in the audience. For the first time, she understood that respect could never be demanded through fear. It had to be earned through humility, honesty, and consistent actions. Her journey toward becoming a better person had only begun, but at least she was finally walking in the right direction. The story of the girl who was hosed in front of an entire school spread far beyond Ohio. People expected a tale about revenge and martial arts. Instead, they discovered a story about discipline, forgiveness, and the incredible power of choosing mercy over violence. Sophia's black belt had never been her greatest strength. Her greatest strength was the heart that refused to let cruelty define who she became. Before we reach the end, we have one special request. Please comment with the words, "Kindness always wins," if you believe compassion is more powerful than revenge. If this story touched your heart, reminded you to stand up for someone being bullied, or inspired you to choose kindness even when it's difficult, please like this video, share it with your family and friends, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these inspiring stories reach people who may need hope the most. Sometimes life gives us the power to fight back, but true character is revealed when we choose wisdom instead of anger. A single moment of self-control can inspire hundreds of people, heal broken hearts, and create a future far brighter than any act of revenge ever could. And perhaps that is the greatest victory anyone can ever achieve.